What's up, dreamers? Timmy Dreams is here. I'm just getting back from the Tour du Mont Blanc. Got my pack, everything I brought. And today we're gonna go over what I packed for my trip. You saw me pack it. At the time it was 24 pounds, minus the water, minus all my important documents that I'm keeping right here with my money. And today we're gonna go over everything and see if we could have shed some pounds. I can only tell you that 24 pounds to me was way too heavy. Now that I'm home, after everything I brought and everything that I gathered up to go on the trip, I get back and I finally put a scale to it, water and all, and I am at 35 pounds. Ridiculous. That is too much. So if you're bringing a pack that's 35 pounds, God help you, because you're gonna be miserable. Every ounce counts, and I'm not kidding. All the videos that you see online, yes, they do show some uphill, they do show some downhill, but they're not showing you the extremes. Because when you're doing the extremes, you're focusing on your hike. And I can tell you that 24 pounds is too heavy. Lightweight, minimalist, figure it out somehow, some way, but you need to get light. I'm gonna try to do it today with what I packed, telling you what not to bring on your trip. Focus on the extreme basics. I brought some camera equipment, I brought extra video equipment, little things. And your phone is all you need. It's hard enough to charge up your battery backups. It's very difficult, and I'll show you what I brought to help me with the charging issues. And I found myself in some towns in a pickle. You had no reception, no place to charge at all, zero. So you're only seeing the good on the trail. You're only seeing the spots that are somewhat still flat, somewhat still not demanding. But these trails are demanding. I spent 2 days of straight uphill on an incline like that. No joke. There's no way for me to train it other than work out steps, uphill. Keep your heart rate up as much as you can to train for this. And as I speak, man, just take some notes, go back, check out the film. But just before I started, I hit my luggage scale, and I'm right on at 35 pounds without this pack. This pack here is probably another 8 ounces. This kept me with all my money, and like I said, my passport, all in a Ziploc, waterproof as much as you can, because it will get ruined, it will rain, and it will pour. So let's go to it. Anything I say we don't want is going over there, and that's how we're gonna go. So here's my pack. All right, and I was budget friendly for this trip. I try to save money wherever I could, and you can do that. Do I think that spending a lot of money for this trip is the answer? Everything can fail in the right situation. Everything you can have a problem with in the right situation. You can have the best of everything, and it just, in the last minute, you have a complete disaster. So think about that. Expensive stuff ain't always better, but you get what you pay for too. Quality is number one. So here we go. Here's my first water bottle, Life Straw. My thoughts. I like the idea of having filtered water. I do not like having to suck it up through the straw. And I think that there's some issues. If you put some of the salt tabs that actually are bubbling until they dissolve. I don't like it, creates gases in there, and it will come out, overflow port, and you're dripping. So I don't like that part. What would I suggest? I would suggest go with a Camelback of some sort, a water storage in the back where you have a tube to suck the water out as you need. So much more easier. Or closer water bottles to the front where you can just get it out quicker and faster. So I recommend 2 liters of water if possible, at least a liter, but I went with 2 bottles of these, one Life Straw and the other one's on my pack as a backup. I needed both of them for sure to get me through almost all day. And fill up every ounce you can as you go. You need to conserve the water. I drank out of the stream. I didn't get sick, but you know, it's something I had to do at the last minute. And that's what I did. So here we go. Take the pack off. And first thing you see is my budget-friendly pack. It's a nightcat, all right? You can get them on TikTok. I wanted a bigger pack than what I had. You can get different sizes. Did I have issues with it? I did. Is it because it was overpacked and too heavy? That's a great possibility. Was the workmanship poor? Maybe the person that made this pack was asleep, you know, wasn't with it that day, because there is some issues. But for all sake and matter, I think it was just, you know, too much weight for it. And why do I say that? Well, the night before I left, I had to sew this strap right here. It was just hanging. I did my last hike at a week before I was leaving, and I just saw that it was buckled, but it was hanging. I had to re-stitch that. My stitching held up great. So I was really worried about that. I didn't want to hang nothing from it. Normally you can hang bed rolls from it, whatever, but I didn't hang nothing from it. I'm just trying to keep my pack together. The second part of this pack issue is that the straps that you carry it with, right here, started ripping, right there. So, would I have made it completely through the Tour de Mont Blanc? I doubt it, but who knows? The pack was heavy though, 24 pounds. And now we know what we weighted after water and all, it was 35. 35 pounds is too much. I think that if you can get under 15, you'll be better. Anything under 10, you are the man. More power to the women. So here you go. So 2 problems with rippage. This pack here, I wanted everything up front. This is my life and blood. This is everything I had for my trip. God forbid there's an emergency. If I had to do anything, this is the only pack I want to keep, other than a jacket, raincoat, and water. But if I had to go, this is it. I want it right here. I want to keep an eye on it. This is the other water bottle I brought. This was my fill it at the stream, fill it at the pump, wherever you want to go, and then put it in my Life Straw and drink out of that. I didn't want to get sick, so we're gonna have to keep them. And we'll keep the scale over here. What else did I bring? Well, that's good. I watched all the videos like you did, and you have everybody selling everything. They got all the gadgets in the world. And the more they peddle the nonsense, the more we buy, right? Because we think it's cool, or how great, or how convenient. And in reality, we're fools, okay? We're fools. You take your pack apart, you take one thing out, you're like, oh, do I want this? Oh, you take that out, you add 2 more. You know, I thought it would be cool to add this little, you know, hanging light, right? It's rechargeable. It flashes, right? But I would never bring this again. So I don't want to throw this, but we're going to set this on the floor. And So a lot of you are gonna hike and then you're gonna stop the refugios, you're gonna try to stop at campgrounds. Maybe you'll get a shower there. You need shower shoes. The floors are disgusting. So we got some shower shoes here, and I had everything originally. I repacked this to show you, but I had everything in little bags of importance. I had one bag that's for showering, getting cleaned up, and I had a towel in there, shampoo and all, but everything's all thrown around now. But have it all in one bag, and you know, what we don't think about is that, oh yeah, let's have shower shoes because, you know, the floor is disgusting, right? And you don't want to get athlete's foot, right? But then we wear these into the shower where everybody's, you know, getting dirty, disgusting, using the bathroom. And what do? We're touching the bottom of these. We're touching them. It's on our pack. It's everywhere we touch. Germs, germs, germs. So it kind of doesn't hit you home, but it's something to think about. Doesn't matter, there's nothing you can do. I'd still rather wear these in the shower, but they are dirty. There's nothing you can do about it. Would I bring these? Yeah, I'd bring them, but do you need them? I don't know. I've seen plenty of people on their bare feet. Eventually, your feet are just gonna be dirty anyway, so. Here's something I did not use, and you know, all the environmental people and everybody that's on the trail, you know, I didn't use a poop shovel. That's what this is. It's to dig a hole, it's to poop in, and guess what? I didn't use this. The ground was too hard, too rocky. But what did I do? I respected everybody. I covered up my mess. There's plenty of rocks. There's plenty of, you know, greens and everything covered up so nobody sees it, nobody steps in it. You want to bring one, go right ahead, but I'm going to tell you right now, next time, I'm not bringing it. So we're going to get rid of that. Packs of Q-tips, you know, that's great. I packed all these Q-tips. You know what? There was plenty of towns that I went to that if I really needed a Q-tip, I would have just stopped and got. So, no, I would not pack Q-tips. And we go further on. I got all these little bags that I packed for different reasons. I think this is my tent poles. See where it's at? It was in a pocket. I didn't even put my tent poles in there. So don't bring nothing extra. That's extra. Right up front here. So normally, unless it's really bright sun and I'm in my truck driving, I don't wear sunglasses. I never wear them, but everybody says, bring sunglasses, bring sunglasses. I could see why, but I'm not a sunglass person, and I'd rather not have the gadgets hanging and dangling. So my sunglasses, I would not bring again. I bought, in the beginning, a lot of this, it's electrolyte mixes, the LMNT, all that stuff. And in the beginning, I guess it was to get used to some of the power, you know, hills that you had to go up. I did put it in, but after a while, you kind of forget about it. You forget about using it. So again, that's a catch-22. Would I bring them? Probably not. Maybe a 2 or 3, but you know, let's get rid of the rest of them because again, I wouldn't do it. I brought extra batteries, and yes, they are a must for me. So that's in that one. Let's flip it over here. What do we got over here? I got my light. My light would definitely go. Very important. I need this many a times. I ran into people that their light broke. They didn't have one. They lost one. But, you know, I'm not doing without. So we're going to bring the light. Absolutely no place for me to, no time for me to hang up my clothes. I was not staying in refugios. I brought line. God forbid I needed it. Would I bring it again? Absolutely not. A rock, a fence, there's plenty of it. Put it on top of your tent, put it on top of your bag, put it on the grass if it's sunny out to dry out. But I wouldn't bring that. I have several things, you know, for whatever reason, I thought it'd be funny. bring the cowbell, you know. I saw the cows, I saw them playing, and I thought it would be funny to bring a cowbell, right? You know, so light, just an extra little gadget, you know, no cowbell. I got 2 little things of super glue. I believe in super glue if you get cut, because it works. Bandages just fall off. So when I keep this, it's all protected in a plastic bag. Always put stuff in a plastic bag that you don't want getting messed up. So super glue, let's take it. Right here I bought this little knife. You know, I didn't want something that looked like a knife, square. It's a multi-tool in one sense. It's got a little knife that comes up on this side. It's got a little bottle cap opener on this side, a little saw. You know what's crappy about this knife, and they shouldn't even sell it? The blade does not lock. It does not lock. And I tried to use it on something, and guess what? I almost cut myself. So this is good for like meats and cheeses, and that's about it. But not a big fan of it. The brand is La Gurfi. So La Gurfi, please figure out why you're selling a knife that doesn't lock. And if it's just mine, Timmy Dreams needs a new one. Send me a new one. La Gurfi. Would I bring it again? Yes. So we're gonna keep that. I got this little cable, 2 little hooks, just in case, right? Us guys like just in case. We like our hooks, we like our cable. That's a waste. No good. I got plenty of little cards in my backpack. They're paper to identify who I am or where I'm going. I added this extra pack for my water so it will be close to me, right underneath my arm. That I keep. What else do we have on the outside? Okay, let's get into the big stuff here, maybe. So I packed my bag, and when I got to France, I repacked it the way I want to my hike. I wanted my tent on top. This is a Kelty tent, single person. I can tell you, this rocked on. I would stay dry, easy to set up. How heavy is it? I don't really know. It's saying that it's 3 pounds, 15 ounces. However, I think that's too heavy. Am I going to get my next tent down in lightweight? Yes, I am. It's small. It worked. The only thing different is I would get a tent that's lighter, more compact. I was lucky enough not to have to set up my tent in the rain. I've never done that, but just imagine hiking all day, you're ready to get into bed, you gotta set your tent up, it's pouring rain. I would not do it. I would not set my tent up in a pouring rain. I would find some kind of shelter with my poncho, rain gear on, and I would hunker down until it stopped raining, because I couldn't imagine laying in bed in your tent in soaking wet. That would be just miserable. Absolutely 100% miserable. That would ruin my my trip. So thank God I didn't have to do that, but I did get caught in the rain, pouring rain, on top of the mountain, about 9,000 feet high. So my tent stayed dry, thank God. So yes, I guess we're gonna have to keep the tent until we can get a new one. Let's start down bottom. So, what else do we have here? All right, this is the Nightcats pack cover. When I first got it, it had a little rip in it right there. You know, I just blew it off, but you know, start looking at quality and you start to wonder, right? So, what did I like about this pack color? It's the color. It's bright orange. If you're hiking in the rain, it's limited visibility. If you have to be near a road, limited visibility, then you will stand out. Now, I had a poncho to go over everything. What happened with this cover? You couldn't see it no more. All right. So I guess we got to keep it for now, but think about that when you're going on these trips. You know, all us guys, you know, oh, we want the greens, we want the woodland colors, the blues, you know, the blacks. We want to be cool, right? I don't know. I think safety should be your feature. Some bright colors. I think you need to stand out, let people know where you're at, and be safe. Here we go. Bought this. This is a sleeping bag liner. A lot of refugios require this. I can tell you, I will never bring one, okay? I'm not staying in a refugio, but even if we were going to, I have a sleeping bag that's real thin. It's not a bag, it's actually a quilt. I like a quilt better, but I can lay on top of a quilt. I don't need to lay in this. This is a bag. I don't like crawling in and out of it. I like to cover myself up with. So this will be a no-go, okay? What do we have here? Ankle. More bags, more straps. I don't even know what the bag's for anymore, but what a waste. Oh, on the way over to France, on the airline, giving everybody a blanket. That's great. I like free stuff. What do? I put it in my bag, and again, I'm carrying a free blanket on a Tour de Mont Blanc, 105 miles. What ridiculous. So, you know, you want the free blanket, give it away. You know, there's plenty of people that could use a blanket, even at the refugios. So, get rid of that. Long Singer rain cape, okay? Great. This thing, it was great. It worked great in the rain. It was long on my arms, long on my legs, kept my pack dry, kept me dry, pouring down rain. What a dummy though, because it's dark blue. Dark blue in the dark, in the late evening. This was no good. The color needs to be bright. You need to be able to be seen. Please don't go with the dark colors. Go with something bright. Go with something yellow. Go with something orange. But for sure, you need to stay visible in the rain. These mountain roads, these mountain passes, people that are driving, people that are riding four-wheelers, dirt bikes, whatever it may be, that you need to stand out, and that'll help keep you safe. And if something happens to you along the way, it's easier for them to spot you. You're in a green forest, a green field, with a green, dark green, poncho. They're not finding you. You're done. You're pinging off your phone maybe, but they can't find you. So it's important. So you're not getting rid of that. We're keeping it. All right. Everybody likes to be comfortable when they sleep at night in their tent. I got this sleeping pad. It was budget friendly. It's a foot pump. You just pump down on your leg like this until it blows up with air. You pull the button, it goes flat, you fold it all up. Would I take this again? I don't think so. It's too heavy. I'll be honest with you, budget friendly, I might just go over to the Dollar General and get a blow up little raft. They weigh probably less than a quarter of an ounce. They fold up flat. Yeah, you gotta blow them up, but you know what? Maybe that's where, something else will come in, an inflator maybe that you might already have or something else. So I would not take this. I think it's too heavy. I mean, out of all my stuff, this is equal to my tent. This pad is equal to my tent. Maybe go, the best thing I would say, if you can't figure it out, I would go with a rolled up pad of foam, silver on one side to reflect your heat back up on you. Yeah, it's thin, but that's probably what I would go. They're so lightweight, and you don't have no work, no pumping, no something. If it's raining out, you got to throw it in your tent, boom, it's done. And that's another thing to talk about with tents. Some tents have the rain fly built into it. Mine has one where you have to put it over top. If it was pouring down rain, could you imagine setting up your tent and then all of a sudden you have to now put the rain fly over it. Oh, you put the rain fly over the wet tent, so the whole bottom's filled with water now until it drips out. And then you gotta put your pad in. So what a miserable time, right? So think about that. This is my Nora North down camping blanket. Would this be enough for the winter time? No. But for a 3 season, this is fine. If you have to, you're gonna be hiking, most likely you're gonna be sleeping in your clothes, because if you do what I did and bring extra clothing to sleep in, it's more stuff to carry. It's unnecessary. But do I like this? Yeah, it's pretty light. You look at the rain cape, it's about the same. I don't know how much pounds it is, but we're gonna keep that. So that's everything I kept in the bottom of my pack. And look, well, we're gonna, maybe stop at a Refugio or two, I don't know. And maybe, we gotta watch out for our packs if we wanna lock stuff together, just to be safe. I bought 2 padlocks, a cord. Is this necessary? Just keep buddy system, keep an eye on each other's stuff. I don't think it's necessary, so, I would never bring it again. All right. I got these little plastic clips. Got these from work, or for gloves. They work great for hooking stuff up. You need to, dry something, you clip it right here and off you go. We're gonna flip this over now, and we're gonna go what's in up top here. So, lifesaver, toilet paper. This is a must. If you're not bringing toilet paper, you're gonna regret it. And every time you gotta go to the bathroom, bring it with you. Because if you don't bring it with you, you're gonna sit down and there'll be no toilet paper. And this has happened several times. I saved myself. Bring your toilet paper and put it in a plastic bag. Half a roll did me, we're fine. What else did I bring? I thought this was gonna be neat. I bring these little, they look like little white mints. And what they are is you put a little water in your hand, in your palm of your hand, you wet them, and they're a nice, wipe down rag. I used it once, but in reality, I didn't have time for this. I didn't have time for it at all. I was too tired, and I did without. So would I bring them again? That's your call. Maybe you ladies would, but I don't need them. I'll never bring them. And we were going on to Sicily, so I thought I'd bring my, gel. There it is. Did I need this? No, I didn't need it. A bandana worked great. That's what you ought to bring. Nice bandana. I brought a hat. I can tell you right now, a hat didn't let the heat out, and I needed something for the sweat. So I brought deodorant. Maybe every other day. This is a big deodorant. I didn't need all that, but I gotta keep it. So these little bags are the way to go. It's not all set up perfect, but little bags like this. I'm going, to get a shower tonight, and here's my shower stuff. I mean, whatever it may be, set up yourself bags for different things. So it looks like this is my shower stuff. I had some stickers made for my trip, and I handed them out to people on my trip. The Jersey pork rollers, I handed them out, Timmy Dreams, and I thought that was a great idea, incorporate your story with your trips. And people get feedback, people like to hear about it, people like to check you out, people get entertained. I mean, this is something in a lifetime that you're doing once, maybe twice. Will I do it again? Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going back. This time I'm starting in Italy. I want to get back up on the mountain. There's a lot of things I want to see. So I'm going back. So we're going to keep the stickers. What was I thinking? Eucerin cream. Bringing this. I'm carrying this. For a lot of different reasons, I thought I'd bring this. But again, you're going to go into certain towns, and if you really need something, pick it up then. Use it, and then get rid of it. You don't need to keep carrying stuff. So that's a negative. I brought antibiotic cream. I used it one time, just a little spot on my ankle. Would I bring it again? Of course I would. So I didn't want to bring a big toothbrush, toothpaste. So I tried these, they're called, I don't even know what they're called, but they're a little toothbrush with, they're mini toothbrushes with toothpaste already built in. There's not enough toothpaste on these toothbrushes. It's great that they have where you can, floss. I mean, that's fine and all, but there's just not enough toothpaste on them. So would I do these again? No. Get yourself a mini toothbrush. They have little travel ones and a little toothpaste. So I would get rid of these. I'm not bringing them ever again. I brought this Dr. Bronner's 18-in-1 Pure Castile Magic Soap Peppermint. Well, what I loved about a peppermint is it kind of refreshed you. You felt great at the end of the day. I washed some of my clothes with it while I was in the shower. I rinsed them out. They were dry the next day, and that's the whole thing. Performance nylon is the way to go. The only thing better than that is merino wool. Nice, thin merino performance wool is the best. Dries super fast. I wore lightweight wool socks. They kept my feet dry. I was surprised how much they kept my feet dry. So Dr. Bronner's Magic Soap, I brought 2 of these. One's gone, this one's still left. And this was my towel I used this, but it was gonna be my washcloth, and I'm like, well, I didn't need a washcloth. I use my hand most of the time. So I use this as a towel. This is all I needed. I didn't need no other towel. So yes, this is a go. So the kids gave me my Superman towel. I never even took it out of the package. And you feel bad. Do I need this? No, let's get rid of it. So we're gonna go back to all this. When we're done, we're gonna repack it. We're gonna repack it to see where I'm at. And since I'm gonna repack it, let's just throw, a lot of this stuff in one bag. Let's see where we're at. We're not gonna pack it nice, but we're gonna pack it. So that's everything. Oh, nope, there's another bag. There we go. See, these bags are great. They really are. There's a lot of stuff in these bags that you never see, and you wonder why you brought it. Here's one of them. All right, so I brought some moleskin, some of these clothes hangers, these honey stingers. I brought a couple of them, and I recommend that because there's going to be a time where you're hungry and you won't have another meal until maybe the next day. A couple of days I went from lunchtime to lunchtime without eating, and these saved me. So maybe half a dozen. Again, we got some water, electrolytes. Some are better than others, stingers. And what I do is I got this little clip, and I don't use the whole thing for a whole water bottle. I maybe use half, as long as you're sweating a lot. I don't use a whole one, that's just me. I've got all kinds of stuff here that I never brought, never used, and let's see what it is. All right. So we say I would bring a couple more of these, right? Yep. Electrolytes, we're gonna skip that. I got mosquito repellent balm. We ran into some areas where the bugs didn't seem to bite too much. I got stung by some bees. So if you have bee allergies, that would be important. Several times I got stung by a small little tiny black bee. It hurt, and it stung more than once in one spot. So if I'm bringing all this, maybe that I bring. I didn't get to use it, so we'll keep it. All this other stuff, I would not bring. I brought an extra tape. What a waste. All this stuff here. Right here, I brought a shaving kit. Forget it. Extra toothpaste, toothbrush. If we're gonna be fair, let's keep this for weight, all right? Let's keep it because we're gonna have to add another toothbrush, toothpaste. These are ridiculous. So the Boy Scout in me says no. I brought this carbon alloy steel striker to create a fire. In the places I was, there's no need for this. You will not make a fire. If you were gonna be a lot of times into the woods, I wouldn't even start a fire. Their woods are like tinder boxes, and you don't wanna get caught with a fire getting out of control anywhere, catching, I mean, the canopies are way 100 feet, 150 feet above you. There's no way. So would I bring this ever again? No. Okay, there's plenty. If you're on a mountain, go down. That's where the towns are. So I wouldn't bring it. And that was the Boy Scout in me. Chapstick, all this stuff to me would be a no-go. So we're gonna get rid of it. All of it. It's just a waste. If you need it out of town, get it. I wasn't gonna throw it on the floor. So what would I bring out of all this? I'd get yourself a medical roll of medical tape or a roll of hockey tape. I like hockey tape. It's cloth. It's pretty strong. If you're bleeding, you fall down, all that stuff ain't gonna do nothing for you. Nothing. You need to stop the bleeding. You need super glue right away. You need tape. You need to get this to stop bleeding. And I can tell you, along the trails, there's some sharp rocks, jagged rocks, man. That's gonna cut you bad. So tape, not a half a roll, a full roll of tape, man. I think that's your answer. Get it to stop, get the blood up, and then maybe put some triple antibiotic all over it, and then roll it up with this. So we're gonna bring that. Tape for sure. Again, these bags work great. And this pack isn't ever leaving. It's gonna stay. So now let's go on inside here to pack. Well, we got one more spot. What else will we bring? So you're like, oh, there's gotta be more. Well, here it is. Here's my more. My thought was, well, you know, I'm going on this trip. I want to catch all the footage I can. I want to, you know, do solar panel to charge everything up. And guess what? I ain't bringing this. It's too heavy. Maybe a small, tiny solar panel the size of your phone, but this is too heavy, man. This is not, it's just too heavy. I wouldn't have brought it. You didn't have enough downtime to sit there in the sun for an hour or two to get your stuff charged up. You could put it on your pack, but then, you know, every time you turn around, you're in shade, it's not charging. So, you know, am I bringing it? Nope, we're not bringing it. Now we go down here, let's see what else. We got any more zippers? Anything in here? Nope. All right, we're moving on. So, like a lot of us, you know, we gotta bring our medicine, right? No way around it. Well, downsize the pill bottles, make sure you label everything. Everybody's gonna want everything labeled if you're gonna take it from airport to airport if they open your luggage. So I put everything in here, in this case, that I needed. It's a lot, you know. How heavy is it? I guess that as heavy as my, you know, sleeping bag. We talked about hats. Everybody talks about a hat, you know. Bring a hat, the sun, bring a hat, a protection. Well, I can tell you this makes my body hotter. It makes me sweat more. A bandana keeps the sweat out of your eyes. It soaks up everything. You can wear it over your head. You can wet it. It's multi-purpose. Hat, it's gotta go. All right, we're moving on. Beautiful little packs. I love them. Oh my God, I got a, you know, 11-hour flight. What am I gonna do? I need my my pillow for my neck. And I got all this stuff in here. Oh my goodness. What is it? Let's see. All right, that's one more thing. So here we go. We'll keep the pack. Oh my God, I got, how comfortable it is. But you know what? I could use this as a pillow. Sleeping at night. How great is this? This is gonna be great. I could sleep on it, right? What a waste. All your clothes that you have in your little bag that you're bringing with you, there's your pillow. There's your pillow. You have a jacket. You have all this stuff that you could rest your head against. Don't bring this. Most of the planes have pillows. Most of the planes do. Suffer for 11 hours. You don't need to be carrying this with you, okay? So we're gonna get rid of that. The germs in me thought I'd bring my, trusty antibacterial hand sanitizer, and thought it was great, right? Had it hanging right on my belt loop, and I'm walking along and it's jingling and jingling and jingling, and guess what? Not more than 100 feet up the hill, the cap kept getting tapped against something on my pants or my pack. It unscrewed the cap, and all of a sudden I felt soaked. It all came out all over me, and I saw the cap there. I put the cap back on. I filled it up with water, but what a waste. So would I bring that? Negative. I love listening to music. I got these bone conducting headphones, how great they're there. My first day, and they just sat there all day. Why? Because I didn't want to run down my phone. So I kept my phone on airplane mode. I shut it off when I could. The only problem is when you got to get a picture, like when I was all the way up in the top of the mountain, I walked around the corner and there was the biggest ibex sheep you could ever see, 10 feet from me. And by the time I got my phone open to take a picture, I go to snap it, he was gone that fast. So, you always have to be on point with your phone, have it charged. This here, again, as much as I like music, that was a no-go. What a waste. Not bringing. I brought an extra little video recorder. I thought maybe, different shots, different ways, I'd have plenty of time. You don't have plenty of time. You can make time, but your realistic goal of doing the Mont Blanc in maybe 10, 11, 12 days, how about 20? You're gonna be in it for 20 days if you're gonna stop and you're gonna smell the roses. I could tell you it was beautiful seeing the flowers. It smelled nothing like a funeral home, really, because everywhere you went, it was floral. It was beautiful. The flowers smelled great. The aroma, the fields, even the forest, the evergreens, everything smelled wonderful. No complaints here. But would I bring this? Nope. It ain't coming. I brought extra cord for different things, so you're overweighing yourself. But I have to show you. We brought the cord. The power bank. Well, what do you know about power banks? I didn't know nothing about power banks. I bought a power bank. They got power banks now that are thinner than this, lighter than this, longer than this. The main thing is does it charge? Is it a rapid charge? Because if these things aren't rapid charges, just like your phone, if you don't have a rapid charger, you're gonna sit there for an hour or two charging your phone, and you don't have an hour or two, I can tell you. Time is of the essence when you want to go on this hiking trip. Again, you got more cords. We'll keep all the cords together. You going to Europe are going to need an adapter, okay? They must. When you pull your plugs out, don't forget this, because they tend to stay in the plug. I did that, so I had an extra, thank God. So we're going to take that. We're going to throw this all back together to show you weight. We'll put that together. Let's just throw the toilet paper in there and, move on. So what do we got here? All right, here we go. So we got our poles. Poles fold up real great. Only recommendation I have about poles is you better have them. You better have them. When you use a hiking pole, your arm literally needs to be like an L where the grip is. If it's not an L, they're too small for you, okay? They can be a little bigger, but you don't want them lower than that L. People are like, whoa, I got these hiking sticks, they were a great deal. Well, they don't open enough? Well, maybe they're for kids, you know? They have different lengths, and some of them do adjust. I had these, I used these, and I brought the rubber tips for them. I thought that would be the best thing for it. I don't need snow tips, I don't need any of that. But guess what? You want the sharp points. The sharp points are the only thing that's really gonna dig into a lot of stuff. These rubber works okay, but you know, they slide. The sharp points will really get into the harder, compact stone ground a little better. But you can always take the rubber tips off and go from there. But rubber tips or sharp points, that's it. So yes, I'm bringing them. They don't hike it without them. I'm telling you, you'll regret it. Whoa, what is this? What is this? What is this? Oh my goodness, this must weigh 3 times what my tent weighs. What is it? Well, this is my clothes. What would I bring again? Clothes. Well, we're gonna go over that. And this is where you better pay attention, because I came on this trip and you see what I'm wearing: a t-shirt, shorts, performance underwear, wool socks. I'm wearing Hokas. These Hokas were fantastic. They got a guard around the ankles to keep the stones out. Stones, to me, little stones, would be a big problem. I think you have to think about getting stones in your sneakers. If not, you stop and you have to take them off. So this is one outfit. This is one full outfit. Okay. This is what I would wear on a normal day. Obviously not this shirt. These shirts I have made, Jersey Pork Rollers. This is going to be my sleep shirt, and not definitely a hiking performance shirt at all. More so for comfort, and totally why. Why are we bringing clothes to sleep in? This is not a beauty pageant, unless you're just doing refugios only, hotels only. It is a possibility just to do hotels throughout the trip. Everywhere, no, but you know, the alternative is you might get caught in the rain, you might get caught in the dark under a tree in your raincoat and trying to stay warm. But you gotta bring at least a sleeping quilt. Stay warm if you have to, you know, spend it under a tree. I would put a rain cape on just to keep it warm. So why would I bring pants? Well, I wore these on the plane over. Would I bring pants again? Yes, 1 pair. What else would I bring? 1 shirt. Another pair of socks. And another pair of underwear, okay? Would I bring any other clothes? No. You only need 1 pair of shorts. You only need an extra pair of underwear and an extra pair of socks. But that's up to you. I'm just saying, don't do it. I brought a token shirt to put on for a picture. What a waste of taking stuff with you. An extra shirt, no. An extra pair of underwear, no. A bathing suit, no. Why? Your underwear could be a bathing suit. Your shorts could be a bathing suit. You just wear them. They're gonna dry. Everything will dry easy. So, again, I got another pair of shorts. I got another pair of shorts. Why? Everything you have on, you could switch out to something else and then wash what you're wearing. This stuff here will dry by the next day. All performance, nylon performance merino wool, you wash in the shower, wash in the stream, whatever you want to do, the next day it'll be dry. That's all you need. Don't bring all this extra stuff. You got your one outfit, your long pants, your shirt. That is your extra. You need nothing else other than what you're wearing. Okay, that's what I want to plan. Great to have another bag to put your clothing in. What else do we have in here? I mean, we're not done. It's never ending. All right. So here's the extra towels. It came as a 3-pack, and I showed you the washcloth. That's all I used. But would I bring all this? Would I bring all this? No. I might bring the medium-sized towel. Let's go with that. This big towel, that's unnecessary. All right, Lifesaver. This is like a nylon hoodie, generic. I bought it, it's cheap. It's for wearing the water, wear at the beach. This thing here has a hood, so if it's sunny out, you can put it on. It can soak up some sweat, protection from the sun, yep. But when it's cold, this is your go-to, bud. This is great. That's a must, no doubt about it. And what did I bring here? Well, I have my pack. I checked my pack. This was my carry-on, and I just put some of my stuff that I needed to carry on with. Some of my electronic equipment. I just put everything in this pack. Just get a better bag than this. I didn't want weight, so I went with nylon. You know, Skechers thing's already ripping, but whatever. It was free. All right. It got cold at night. It got cold up on the mountain at 9,000 feet. Rad, however you want to pronounce it. This jacket here saved me. It kept me warm. I was not cold at all. I had a couple sweatbands I brought. Them I wouldn't do without. And fantastic. It's great. That is a must. That jacket there, you better bring. You better bring. So when I lined it, when I got my pack, I read somewhere you should take a plastic bag, stuff it inside. You know, everybody's worried about PBAs and all this other stuff. Well, I don't know what to tell you, but this makes your pack a little stronger, I think. It keeps things from ripping and your nylon. It makes things easy to pull out and then put back in. So would I bring it? Yep, let's keep it. I got an extra strap here. I brought extra straps. What did I bring extra straps for? Just in case, you know, a Boy Scout of me, right? This bag here, remember everything, I could have threw this out, but I didn't. I brought this bag. This bag is a duffel bag. And I got the extra straps in here. Got more straps. I mean, you know, I'm all strapped up if you can tell. But I put my backpack in this, and this is how I checked it. The handles weren't that great, I can tell you that. So if you're going to do that, get a better bag, get better handles. It held up, but I didn't want my buckles to get caught on any of the airport equipment, you know, the rollers, all that. I didn't want to get it. But would I go with this bag again? Probably not. I'm going to go with a different setup. So should we keep it for the weight, or let's keep it for the weight, all right? Because it might be a good idea, all right? What else do we got here? Well, we got to dig deep because there's some things I didn't see. All right. Books. What am I thinking? Oh, that. What else? Oh my goodness. All right, well, here's the tent stakes. This isn't with the tent. I separated the two. I didn't want these to fall out, you know, at the side. So I had these separate. So these were inside my bag. Thought that was the best place for them. Let's see what else we got in the bag. And I think that's it. Did we drop anything? Yeah, we did. All right. So what do we have? Just in case, I brought these rubber palmed gloves. They're like a work glove. I thought this would be great. God forbid it got cold. It did, but I didn't have to reach deep in the pack for that. I did bring a winter hat. Did I need this? I did not need this. Could I have? Yeah, I would bring some sort of hat, winter hat. Something dry to put on at nighttime. So what is this? Oh my God, what a weight. So everything that you're gonna pack that you want that's paper, obviously put in a Ziploc. This is all my transportation, arrivals, my flight planning, my tickets, everything that I came up with. My book, my route book, Tour de Mont Blanc, everything is in a Ziploc. And then along the way, you tend to stop here, stop there, you get another book, another map, and adventures. Oh my God, you're like, it's never ending. You want to do everything. You want to do everything in these books, okay? But guess what? Now you're carrying this. This is ridiculous. I can tell you I tried I tried an app for my phone for the trails of all, get it? And we got no signal for a while. We got lost. Here we took a longer route than we need to. It didn't do what we needed it to do when we were ready. A little upset about it. And there was no way to get back on trail without going off trail, and that was not an option, okay? If you don't know where you're going, never leave the trail. So, am I bringing all this ever again? No. So this is the only thing I would bring. This is my map, trekking map, Tour de Mont Blanc in a Ziploc, even though this is waterproof map. Let's keep the Ziplocs, keep all this. So this is everything I would bring right here. If you're going hiking and camping, what am I missing? Well, I am missing, if you're gonna cook your food, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't cook my food. What food would I bring? I'd find salami roll, I'd find blocks of cheese, some crackers, stuff like that along the way. Anything that could fit in a little baggie, you know, and it's important to know that you can fast a little bit. It's not gonna kill you. You need your water, you need electrolytes, you need sugar for energy to get you from one point to another. Is there enough food along the way? Not as much as they seem to be shown on all the other videos. There's not enough food, there's not enough water, unless you're ready to go right into the streams. And we had to do that. There was no doubt about it. Did we run into rudeness at a couple of refugios? Absolutely. No food for you unless you're staying the night. They wouldn't let you fill your water bottles up. They wouldn't let you use their bathroom facilities. Was it just that refugio? Possibility, because some of the refugios were wonderful. Clean as a whistle. Some of them were the food was fantastic. I'm not doing reviews of the refugios, but there's ways to do it, man. But don't think that your day is going to be a nice level, you know, slowly down, slowly up these rolling hills. No, you're going to have days of extreme straight up, extreme straight down. Your knees are going to be killing you, your ankles are going to be killing you, your back's going to be killing you. Ultra lightweight. Spend the money if you want to buy the lightest gear possible, the most accessible to grab for water bottles, or, you know, using a bladder with a tube to drink out of, white valve, whatever. That would be your best bet. Remember, in emergency, if you don't have a tent, you have your rain poncho. Bring your quilt. If you're hiking in and it gets dark and you're in a town and you got a big overhang somewhere at a building, maybe that's the place to stay if it's pouring rain out. You know, don't keep going. But it's not what you would normally do. Camping is not what you would normally be doing. So just think like you didn't have this stuff. What are you going to do? There might not be no trees. There might not be no shelters along the way. But unorthodox places, you might find them. It might be over there on the other side of the stream, or it might be over there behind, that hill. Don't overdo it. I stress to you. If the hike says it's going to be, 5 hours and you're hiking for 8, stop. Just stop. Call it a day. Don't do it. We did some 7 o'clock in the morning hike till 10 o'clock at night. Your body won't regret it. You will be miserable the rest of the trip. We did 2 days of that, and it was absolutely grueling, absolutely miserable, but we tried to get through this stage, and I will never do it again. I didn't enjoy that part. I wanted to stop. I wanted to smell the roses. I wanted to enjoy the people, enjoy the time. If you didn't finish, you don't finish. If you don't get it done in 10 days, you don't get it done. But if you're not enjoying your trip, you're not enjoying the people, you're not enjoying the villages, you're missing out. That's what's there, the craftsmanship, the people that really care, the hiking community. And everybody's willing to help. You just gotta ask. Signage, oh my God. We started in Les Houches in France, and that's where we started. I can tell you the signage in the beginning was horrendous. It was a very long time before we actually started getting on trails where the signage was better, but the signage was terrible. It would tell you to go this way, but you had to go back this way. You had to go back that way. You ask a question, no, it's right there. The signage was off. So don't feel defeated, but be prepared better. Better maps, better planning, better apps. Don't trust any of them because they're not all going to be accurate. I promise you that. So this is where I'm at. How about we try packing everything up? I'll go as fast as I can to pack it up. And we will take a wait and see where we're at, okay? We're gonna just go as fast as we can. I'll pack it up. See what we can do here. I had an amazing trip. Met a lot of people that live there. They're some of the healthiest people you will ever meet. I got to stay at a couple places after the hike. A restaurant that I ate in Geneva, La Gioconda. It's on my YouTube. That was pretty incredible Italian food. So big shout out to them. Young waiter, he was really thorough at what he does, knowledgeable about being a waiter. Spoke a little English. Shout out to him, he made my experience much better eating there. When I was in, what town was it? Bourg Saint, I forget what it was, but anyway, we stayed at a place called Base Camp, great hotel. And we stayed in the beginning of our trip at Rocky Pop. Crazy little hotel. Sort of like a refugee, not a refugee, sort of like hostel, but set up for a really good time. I enjoyed it there. I like to go back, spend more time in the town. So obviously you wouldn't pack like this. You need everything accessible, what you need when you get to camp first or throughout the day. Rain gear, that has to be. And I'm gonna put these poles in, but in reality, you gotta get a weight for your trip. You gotta get the weight, so. So yeah, I know, I got some more stuff here. Where am I gonna put it all? Let's just throw these in. We're gonna put the tent on top. We have all these here that we could have used for something. Remember, we just threw everything back together in the bags. Would I use this pack ever again? This pack is going to go in the recyclable bin. I will not be using this pack again. If the company wants me to use this pack again, Nightcat, send me a new one. Make sure this, all the seams are stitched and sealed, all right? But if not, I can't endorse a product that failed. 35 pounds is a lot, but you know, along the way, don't forget, you're gonna go through towns, you're gonna go places, and just like I did, even though we weighed out at 35 pounds, you might buy a souvenir, right? And then you gotta carry that. I bought a couple little bags that were made in Paris. They were little cloth bags. I bought a pretty scarf and a couple bars of soap, all made locally. And I had to carry that. Something I would have done anyway, regardless. But let's see where we're gonna be at, and weight-wise, now that we shedded some weight. Like you said, you're not going, no, you're not going to war. You're not going to places that you're not going to have no town. You're going to be, you know, living off the land. If you had to, I mean, I guess you eat the bugs, but there's plenty of places that you might have to skip a meal. All right. So what? Skip a meal. Bring an energy bar. Bring a health food bar. Bring enough for 1 or 2 meals that you can get you by. I'm just throwing these in. They're not necessarily where I would go. But right now, this is my new pack. This is everything I would bring. All right? It's like half this size. The room here, what was I thinking? Everybody does the same thing. I'm watching videos now, people are, oh, I'm 35 pounds on my pack. I'm 42 pounds. I'm 50 pounds. It's not a badge of honor. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. And if you want to be the guy that wants to cook every meal and bring the freeze-dried meals, go right ahead. I wouldn't do it. Stop listening to all the people at the camping stores wanting to sell you stuff, because that's what they want to do. So everything I got here, like I said, is pretty much budget. I didn't spend a lot of money on anything. I think some of the most expensive packs are around $400, $350, $400. Some of the most expensive tents are anywhere between $500 and $1,000. I didn't spend none in there for all my gear. Would I do it? I might, you know. I got the money. So let's see where we're at in weight-wise. Now we just shedded all that. This is with water filled in the bottles and everything, okay? So right now, I'm at 23 pounds. I started out with 24-pound pack. I added so much gear, so much water, and that got me up to 35 pounds. So I did my hike in 35 pounds. Now I'm doing my hike with 23 pounds. Is this good enough? No. My goal would be my next trip to be under 10 pounds. Can I? I can. Every ounce counts. So I'm just in awe that it's still this heavy. I mean, I'd rather hike with this than with all that other stuff. One more time. $22. And that's what we're gonna be, the final number, 22 pounds. This here is probably another pound, 8 ounces probably, but whatever. Let's say another pound. You know, and all your clothes, your shoes, whatever. Can't get no lighter. But yeah, shed the weight, put the water in it, put everything in it that you're taking, and get rid of all the stuff you don't need. Man, I got rid of a lot of stuff. But at 35 pounds to 22 pounds, you know, that's like too much extra. So, hiking the Tour de Mont Blanc, beautiful experience. If you're gonna do it right, take your time and enjoy it. There's plenty to see, plenty of other things to do other than just hiking along. Stop and do it. You don't need a guide, but you need to have good maps, and you need to know how to use them. You're gonna run into places that you're not gonna be able to charge. I ran in a whole town that had no cell service whatsoever, none. And the town's functioning just fine. They don't need it, they don't use their phones, they don't have nothing. Take it as a time to reflect, time to relax. So don't just dream it. Get out and do it. And again, shed them pounds off that pack. Every ounce counts. See you on the next one.